This week's episode of Greetings from Storybrooke is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/Storybrooke. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Again, that link is audibletrial.com/Storybrooke. Greetings from Storybrooke. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm Anne-Marie DeSimone.
And this is a place where the best books have the dustiest jackets, and we talk about ABC's hit series Once Upon a Time. How you doing, Anne-Marie?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. We're live again.
Live!
So soon.
Craziness.
We just did the Wonderland thing like 2 weeks ago when we're already live
what
again.
Happened to Wonderland?
I don't... Did it get canceled?
Officially canceled.
Officially. Yeah, but I guess we'll go ahead and introduce our guest here too. We have three guests with us, a few less than last time.
Yeah, we went from 9
to 3. Yeah, so hopefully it'll be under 2 hours this time.
I feel super special.
Yeah, you're one of the 3. Actually, you know what? There is a theme between the 3 of you. None of you have been on the show before, so I guess we'll start. First up is Becca Canote. How you doing, Becca?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Excellent, excellent. Becca and me, we're good Twitter friends. She also does a lot of vlogging and miscellaneous business.
And the tweeting and the YouTubing and the stuff and the hangouts.
Tweeting about vlogging on the YouTube.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Becca. And next up we have Elizabeth Plascencia. I know I got this about right on the recorded episode. Did I get it right again, Elizabeth?
Yes, you did. I heard the hesitation in your voice, but you got it.
I was scared. That's like my number one fear is to get people's names wrong. I don't know why.
Except for mine, which he purposely says wrong.
Yes, I say yours differently every time on Mirai. On Mirai. And last up, Anne-Marie, I'll let you introduce our last guest since you booked her.
I booked her. And
Yay!
Kari Turvey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm actually really excited to be able to participate.
I know, because normally me and her go back and forth on Facebook for about 3 days after the show airs, going, so I was like, all right, you just have to come on and talk.
Have to.
So that's where you try out all your material for the podcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She gives me the feedback.
Yeah. I'm sitting for the 2 of us, so.
Yay.
Excellent. Yeah, Kari's having a couple technical issues tonight, so if you're watching the video, which I recommend you do because we're pretty, you might not be able to see her because we thought it'd be better to hear her than see her if we had to make a choice. But a couple of bits of business before we get into the main discussion of the big, huge, crazy finale. As we mentioned last week, after we recorded our episode last week, we went and we recorded the first episode of our new podcast, Legends of Gotham, and we discussed, a lot of the news that was coming out about the show.
And we had the preview going on in a loop.
Yeah,
so we just kept talking about it every time it came around.
The little 1-minute promo. And so we cut our first official episode. So if you want to check that out, legendsofgotham.com, or you can go over to iTunes and search for Legends of Gotham.
Or Stitcher
now.
We're officially on Stitcher as of an hour ago.
Yes, we just got the email. We just got word. Stitcher.
We just got word. We're on Stitcher.
We got into that exclusive Stitcher club. No, but definitely check it out. And if you go over to iTunes, if you feel like leaving us a review to kind of give us a little boost up, as we're getting started with the new podcast, we'd really appreciate it. And one last thing before we get started, we just wanted to, first of all, thank everyone for listening this entire, yearish,
Or 2 years, so if you've been around since the beginning.
Yeah, well, I was talking about this main season.
All right, well, fine. This main season, we only like you.
Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure to thank you guys right off the top here, because I know a lot of people last year, they dipped off in the summer to where they didn't listen to any episodes, and then they downloaded all the episodes we released over the summer like a week before the show started.
We're okay with that.
So if you're on summer break from here on out, we are going to be putting out some episodes over the course, not as regularly, but thank you very much for listening this season, I guess. And we'll catch you in August, and download the episodes one at a time to save us on bandwidth a little bit. That'd be nice. And also, I'd like to mention that our next episode is going to be, well, I guess you guys get to decide. It's going to be the season 3 finale listener roundtable with a bunch of you, as many of you as we can get in. We'll have 9 people in again, switch them out, get some people on Skype, on phone, Telegram, Telegraph, the whole deal. But we need to figure out when we want to do it. So we need to figure out when everyone's going to be available. I know some people are really good on weeknights. Some people are really good on weekends. What we've done is we picked 4 dates. The first one I think is this Sunday, right?
Is this Sunday.
Which would be a little short notice.
It would, but it's very popular.
But we want you to go to the poll and vote. You can get it on the post for this episode at greetingsfromstorybrooke.com, or just go to strawpoll.me/1686718. I'll say the number again, 1686718. That's strawpoll.me, and then that number I just said. So go there, vote, and we'll figure out when we're going to do our next episode, where you guys are going to be the star. Me and Anne-Marie are going to kick back and drink some magic juice.
Absolutely.
And listen to you guys talk for once, right? Okay, I think that concludes our opening business. So, yeah, Anne-Marie, why don't you go ahead and hit us up with the rhyming episode summary.
Okay. Tell me, Rumple, where do we go this time? Is it the forest from Once Upon a Time? Zelina's portal is a curious thing. Makes you stop your mom from stealing a ring. The Captain Swan team breaks the timeline quite quick. Of all of the moments the two could have picked. The Dark One plays doctor to their Marty McFly in order to make true love seem a surprise. And we add a new tick to our Disney-themed tally, all in the epic one-season finale.
Dun, dun, dun. I generally don't like to give you line readings in the episode, but I envisioned the first line of the rhyming summary a certain way. I just wanted to do it. Okay, let me get my throat here.
Clear it up, Bill.
For those of you listening to the podcast, I sprayed my throat. Tell me, Rumple, where are we going this time? Is it the forest from Once Upon a Time? Okay, that's all I wanted.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Light around for that one.
Thank you. Just don't burn anything.
No,
That would be a tragic end to this already great live episode. Okay, so I guess we'll start off how we normally do, just asking for a general impression. I'll go ahead and start with you, Anne-Marie. What'd you think overall?
Yay!
Expand.
I loved it. It was fantastic. I was literally shaking, and my heart was beating out of my chest for the last quarter of the show.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
It was pretty amazing. I'm kind of in love.
Yeah.
How am I going to wait 3 more months?
Which episode did you like more, the first one or the second one?
Oh, good grief. It's all one. It was a movie.
Yeah, it was pretty much...
It was not 2 episodes.
Self-contained.
Stop giving it 2 names. As soon as you realized it was going to be on one night, combine them.
We should have done a separate episode for each episode.
No.
Okay, Becca, what did you think of the episode overall?
Oh, man. It felt like season 1 again, and it made me so happy.
Mm-hmm.
That, standalone monster of the week, we're going to go get him. And, yeah, you had to know what was going on. But you could just jump in and maybe have missed, the last 1 or 2 episodes, been a little confused, and then just been psyched that Captain Swan was just, tearing it up everywhere. Oh, I love Monster of the Week episodes. We haven't had a good one in a while.
This is very true. And, speaking of season 1, I also kind of noticed that Rumple was more like season 1 Mr. Gold than he has been, in a long time. So
he was keeping secrets.
He was very giggly. Mm-hmm. So giggly. Almost annoyingly giggly.
No such thing when it comes to gold. Sorry.
Yeah, he can never be annoying when he's giggling.
He just makes you smile. His teeth were a little less funky in this episode, though. Elizabeth, what did you think of it overall?
I'm a major fan of time travel shows and movies, and so when I heard that this was going to be a time travel episode, I got so excited. I was pretty much jumping up and down. I was thrilled, so I really loved it.
Excellent. And we will be talking about some of the time travel stuff here in a minute, but first, Kari, what did you think overall?
Okay, so I hate to be Debbie Downer, but I think I'm going to be the only one that's really kind of heartbroken about this episode, and it's for one silly reason only. As Anne-Marie knows, being my friend on Facebook, I'm expecting baby number 2. Baby number 1 is a little girl. Of course, her name is Emma. So I was hoping and praying to have like a new character name without it being awkward romantic sort of connections, because it's a little boy. And then find out they were naming it Neil. While it's a sweet sentiment, it wasn't what I was looking for. So
yeah, not going to work for brother and sister.
So,
Not so much.
Baby,
but they are brother and sister.
but it's still it's creepy. It's creepy.
They are brother and sister. New baby Neil.
Oh, yeah, new baby Neil and Emma are brother and sister. But there's still that old association.
Exactly. So I was a little bit disappointed. The rest of the episode was great. I loved it. But that last part just killed my soul a little bit.
You're lucky. When you were saying you were going to be Debbie Downer, I was handing over the hang up button on you for a second. I was like, we don't need negativity here. I'll kick you out. Okay, but I guess we'll go ahead and get into our main discussion points here. Oh, how did I feel about the episode? I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and there's that.
First of all, I thought this episode or set of episodes or mini-movie or series of really long mini-sodes, or whatever you want to call it, I thought it was probably the best Back to the Future cover song I ever heard.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was just like, it was really like they took the story beats for Back to the Future and just plugged in, one character for this, one character for that. I sat down today and basically spelled out the analogs just in case anyone missed any of them. And I'm sorry for the video viewers. I'm looking over here because this is where my document is. The camera's over here. It's weird. Get over it.
So enjoy his ear.
Yes, my beautiful ear. Okay, so let's see here. So Snow was basically George McFly, who was hanging out in the tree, right? Waiting for Lorraine's dad's car to drive by, or in this case, Charming's carriage. And then when Emma broke the branch and caught Snow's attention, it was basically like Marty jumping out and saving George. The ball was the enchantment under the sea dance, of course. And Regina was Biff, naturally. Rumple, Doc Brown, natural. And the book was the little Polaroid photo he had of his brothers and sisters. And I thought the whole... grouping Emma and Hook together and just focusing on them, not cutting back and forth between Storybrooke and what was going on there, and was Zelina alive and sneaking around somewhere or whatever. They just kept it laser focused on Hook and Emma for pretty much both of the entire episodes minus the first 10 minutes of the first one, I think.
The first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I thought it worked really well. A lot of times, when they're cutting back between present day, flashback, this character, that character, it can get a little confusing, but this was just, laser tight focused. I loved it. And one last thing I wanted to talk about, the time travel aspects, and then I'll open it up to everyone else here, is I loved how they balanced the fixes. From the Snowfalls episode, how it went down then to this episode. They even got it down to where the exact number of troll roaches died. Yeah. So I just thought it was great how they made sure everything, 2 and 2 still added up to 4 at the end of the day, even with the significant changes in thought.
The same, and I'm just going to take over because that's what I do, the exact same conversations verbatim, just in a completely different location, with Snow's belly hidden because she's not really pregnant in that one.
Oh, yeah, that was funny how they kept doing like the really tight shots on her for the new footage.
What's the picture right here? I'm not 9 months pregnant right here. Nope, not happening.
My face is just swollen. I'm allergic to...
She actually looked thinner than she has in the past 3 episodes. So maybe they did that earlier.
Yeah. Who knows? Becca, any favorite time traveling moments or anything with Hook and Emma that you thought was awesome?
I mean, when are we getting the spin-off that's just the Hook and Emma Captain Swan buddy cop movie? That's what I want. The two of them on their gangly misadventures through the enchanted forest. Solving petty crimes and helping orphans out of trees. Not kittens, orphans.
Absolutely, the Silverfins are all in the tree. Yes.
See, what I was actually lobbying for this entire season was for it to end up with it being Rumple's Sliders, where it was basically them traveling realm to realm, trying to put right what once went wrong, led by Rumple. That was like my big dream, but it didn't. It hasn't happened yet. I won't say it won't happen.
We never know. We never know.
Yeah.
No, I love. I mean, they had obviously the romantic undertone to the dynamic, but once they were back in the Enchanted Forest and having to figure everything out, it was very much that adventurous-y, cantankerous nature that they have that makes them romantically attracted to each other as it is. But
yeah,
that like, who done it? We got to figure this out. Stop those meddling kids.
Yeah, and it was definitely a big contrast to when they went up to the land of the giants in their first team up, because then they were bickering and who trusted who. This was the first time they really seemed like a really strong unit, even more so than last week when they went to try and find the witch or whatever.
Yeah, they definitely worked really well together.
Elizabeth, any thoughts?
Of what my favorite moment was between Hook and Emma?
Hook and Emma, the time travel stuff. You said you like time travel. Anything that stuck out to you there?
It's really hard to pick a moment. It's really hard because I guess the one that's really in my head is like when Emma looks at Hook and she's like, "Who do I look like? Marty McFly?" And I'm like, yes. I loved that. Yeah. I loved that reference. It was amazing.
The best thing about that reference was that that's the exact same type of reference Marty made in Back to the Future concerning John Wayne.
Oh.
Because he had seen the John Wayne movie that reminded him of the situation he was in, so he used the name John Wayne. So that was hilarious too. Kari, any thoughts before we move on?
Oh my goodness, I held my breath when Rumple has that moment and Emma's being dragged back in to the mirror, into the present day, where he's contemplating whether he's going to take the potion or whatever. And I literally was on the edge of my seat holding my breath, waiting to see what was going to happen, because just on that one simple act alone could have changed everything.
Oh yeah.
My God.
Jennifer, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
I was just going to say Jennifer Morrison's performance in that scene was amazing.
Because she turned on a dime. She was like, I gotta go back on her. Like, it was like the mascara running down the face.
Yeah. Well, you got to think, too, that whole death is still pretty fresh for her. She's been busy.
You're always busy. No one
can not be busy when you're hanging out with Hook. I mean, is he not dreamy or what?
Totally dreamy. I love the guy liner. For sure.
Sorry, I think Robin Hood is the dreamy one.
He's better.
They're both pretty amazing. Eye candy.
Scruff.
But okay, Anne-Marie, you had a small point here.
Small point.
Elsa! Who's Elsa? What's an Elsa?
Okay, first.
Do you want to build an Elsa?
Do you want to build an Elsa? First of all, he had yet to watch Frozen. At all. God. He got pretty much zero references. He marathoned it twice today.
Yeah, twice.
Good job.
So
good catching up.
He's back on Team Frozen, or he's on Team Frozen.
That paints me in a bad light. I've been listening to the soundtrack for months, like of my own volition. I just hadn't actually sat down to watch the movie.
You didn't know the plot.
No, that doesn't work.
It was so good too.
I guesstimated it. I just
guesstimated wrong.
For some reason, I thought Elsa was a giant mech, stomping through the forest or Storybrooke village.
No, that's Marshmallow.
Oh, okay.
This one.
Go ahead, Elsa. Bad joke aside.
We're just gonna let that go. Okay, she will not be evil. This is my theory. Everybody's like, no, Elsa can't be evil. No, she won't be evil. Because she was in Rumple's little cave secret hidey hole because her magic is uncontrollable. She can't control it. She probably still can't control it, even, after Frozen.
You know what I noticed watching the movie today, too? Like, I saw some people complaining, like, why was she that weird blue blob thing? She turns into, like, basically like a statue like that right at the end of the movie.
No, that's Anna.
Oh,
that's
Anna.
That's Anna.
Was that Anna?
That was Anna.
That's Anna.
I was watching the movie on this monitor while I was working on this monitor, so I might have got a
No, that was Anna. She looked like Alex Mack.
Somebody
pointed that out. It was like, she's Alex Mack. So I don't know what's up with that.
Single moment right there.
I know.
Disney princesses and the Secret World of Alex Mack. What?
That should definitely be the next realm they go to. The World of Alex Mack.
Freaky nuclear waste accidents.
I have no idea who Alex Mack is. I don't know.
Old school Nickelodeon, I believe.
Yeah, it was an old show on Nickelodeon that featured a teenager that got hit with a bunch of radioactive materials, and she could move stuff with her mind and turn into a pile of goo that could travel around. And
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was really good.
do you know Larissa Oleynik? She's not.
10 Things I Hate About You.
I know that movie.
The younger sister.
It was the preppy sister.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She loves her Prada backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
She was also Alex Mack.
Sidetrack.
Okay, we've renamed this to Greetings from Alex Mack's Town. I forget what it is.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Since they're deciding to nix Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, and they've made no secret that Will Scarlet's coming over from Wonderland into this new season of Once Upon a Time, does that mean Arendelle is in Wonderland? I mean, that would make sense to connect those two lands.
Or they could be like neighboring or something.
Yeah, because Wonderland has like everything. I mean, it has Agrabah, it has...
No.
Oh my goodness.
No, Wonderland. Agrabah wasn't in Wonderland.
Yeah,
That was realm jumping.
Yeah, I think that was
they were adjacent. That's my misunderstanding. But
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense to have.
They pretty much said they're going to Arendelle.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that more in the news.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, spoiler. 3 months to forget it. No. Okay. How did she get in the container? Is my concern. Because when I saw that, I was like, it's a genie.
Mm-hmm.
But no, there's. No. It could have been Jafar.
Jafar.
I don't want that happening.
Well, that puts the whole Wonderland connection together. If Jafar did
it, if it would have been him, but then not, because Elsa.
Yeah, there's definitely going to have to be some crossover with Wonderland next season.
Well, he's confirmed to be a main. Like he's not even like a supporting or a reoccurring character. He is main cast.
Yeah, Will Scarlet. So
that'll.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, you didn't like him, or?
I don't know. I enjoyed Wonderland. I did. I'm sad it got canceled, but I definitely, I don't know.
This is when we hover over the close button on your
No, we can't do that with Wonderland because we pretty much hated it up until the last 2 episodes. We did always love the name.
Yeah, they feel so different. Like I feel like it's going to be an interesting kind of shoehorn to sort of cram him into like our little Scooby Gang over here in Storybrooke.
Maybe he's trying to clean out his apartment and he gets pulled into some wacky adventure.
A wacky adventure?
Maybe Elsa freezes him with the eggs that are coming out of...
He's the main character the whole season, frozen just like... the whole time. They just throw him around in like a little bag.
Well, they have to make up the budget they used on Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, so it'll just be a freeze frame the entire season. It'll be great.
The whole season.
Well, they did show his apartment in Storybrooke at one point, so...
Yeah, no, in Wonderland.
I think that'll be bringing back up. Okay, sorry, I had a few more things.
Okay,
where's Anna? Save the Anna. Save the world.
Where's Anna?
They have to have both. They couldn't just have one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that case, Anna's on Nashville having a great time, so unless we can buy hand and pin care of that contract.
I'm sure Anna's coming next season.
Well, I know Kristen Bell has said she would be interested in appearing.
Yeah. That'd be so awesome if Kristen Bell was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she'd be really good as Elsa.
She would be.
It would just be really hard to separate.
It's like
that would be really good, though, with the way... It'd be good with the way that Once Always stacks characters and makes one character several characters, to have the actress who played one of them in the movie play the other one in the show.
I think
She showed up, and all I could start thinking is, like, who from Lost is currently out of work? Like, who's going to get cast? I'm like, gotta go check my cast list again.
It's the guy who played Jack. He just
perfect.
He had a big makeover for it.
We have to come back, Kate. Arendelle.
Yeah, you always wonder if they're gonna like the last 3 episodes of the series. They're gonna pull a big Lost crossover moment or something. But I guess
the last season, smoke monsters and polar bears.
Nice. And Rumple. All cage fight. One thing before we move on, first, did anyone else have anything they wanted to mention about Elsa and her introduction and all of that business?
Well,
I'm afraid to speak.
Oh, sorry.
No, you know what? I'm not going to hang up on you unless it's really bad, which by I mean kind of okay. So go ahead. No stress. No worries.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
You can haterade all over it. It's fine.
I'm not a fan of Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I cannot stand the song. What's it with Let It Go? And it's around me all the time, and my family and friends say it to me all the time. But I just think it's a little overrated. And honestly, okay, this is my take on Frozen. The movie makes fun of the fact that the Disney Anna falls in love within like 5 minutes, and her sister's criticizing her for that, and even Hans, that's his name, right, was saying, you fell in love with me and you're foolish, whatever. And I'm just like, wait, isn't that negating every Disney movie, princess movie that has ever existed? Because all the Disney princesses fall in love within a day with, their prince or whatever. And I'm just like, wait a minute, Disney is it's against their own rule, I feel like. So I feel like they were making fun of themselves.
Well, they were trying to be more contemporary.
Okay.
I was going to say 2 points. One, they are breaking their rule, but I think that was kind of their part of their aim, because they realized that, they had done it so many times, it was a stereotype that they really need to break out of, especially in modern times and stuff like that. And 2, I completely forget. So I know you had something you wanted to say. So, did you?
I think it was along those lines. that was the point, was to show that there's other types of true love. Oh, because it was the love of the sisters instead of having to be the love of a man. And she.
I thought that was very sweet.
It was awesome.
Yeah, and I think too, in Frozen, she falls in love with him literally in 5 minutes. Like they talk and boom, done, right? But in all the other Disney movies, even though it generally happens in a short time frame and everything, they have to overcome some sort of adversity together first before the big love and the engagement and this, that, and the other. Which is why I think everyone was questioning her, because like, no, you don't meet someone in 5 minutes later.
You don't sing about a sandwich.
Especially when you're sober. Maybe if you've been drinking and you want to get married to someone for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's those kind of sandwiches.
But the thing with
crossover.
The thing with Frozen, adding Frozen, they were running low on bad guys, and if they bring in Hans and his brothers, because he's only got like a butt ton of brothers from the Southern Isles, then I mean it opens up for new characters and potential bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for the new. I just want Pocahontas to get brought in and have that villain be our villain next season. Just a douchey fat guy.
Oh yeah. Like I was trying to remember if he was it or it was some sort of weird tree spirit or something.
No, it was the colonial boatmaster. I forget his name, but.
I can
grandmother Willow.
Okay, one thing before we go ahead and move on to Becca's point here that I wanted to mention, just that Rumple's Dark Archives really excited me, because I'm pretty sure we haven't seen that before. It might have been mentioned once.
It was mentioned.
But I think that's a really good story engine.
But it wasn't the Dark Archives. It was where he put magic that was uncontrollable or he did not understand it.
Yeah. It
may be dark, but that's not a requirement of being in the vault.
I was trying to give it a snazzy name. We're trying to make a trendy club here, Anne-Marie. we need to have a line outside, and it needs to be called Rumple's Dark Archives.
You can't say that.
Hashtag Rumple's Dark Archives.
What was that?
That doesn't sound good at all.
No, but I just thought it was really cool that, we have this whole big room full of stuff that Rumple has either stolen or taken and hidden because it scared him. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, lack of bad guys, all the bad guys becoming good guys, that's another way they can get a lot more bad guys in the show.
But then how do they go back to that? We can't keep traveling in time.
See, I almost want them to have, like a door in the back of Granny's restaurant that'll let you just, walk right over to the Enchanted Forest.
So it'll be like Monsters.
Yeah. Oh, like Monsters Incorporated. Okay. I thought you were talking Monster, that movie with Charlize Theron. I was like, no.
I've never seen that, and that just sounds scary.
There was no realm jumping in that movie.
No. Oh. No.
Let's not have a crossover there. Becca, your point here, if you want to go ahead and take it.
And I think building off of that, like everything with Rumple and what scares him and what is he afraid of, and then what are we really going to kind of get into that side of his character that I think we definitely have to explore in season 4 is the fact that him and Belle get hitched at the end of the season. And it's so cute. And Belle's like, I'm going to punch you all in the heart with this really heartwarming speech and this vows and trying, and look at the tears everywhere. But at the same time, we all know Rumple's pulling over on her with the whole dagger thing. Like,
yeah, like I actually didn't think they were going to end up going through with the wedding just because of that.
Well, I thought we'd get like a cliffhanger there, like we were going to, and then something comes up and she finds out that he is like completely, fleeced her with this dagger, and she actually has no control in the situation. And since we have like that bleed through of, the kind of skeezy Rumple of old, plus his archive, I can think we have yet another great season of Rumple next season, and hopefully a lot of random bad guys popping out of jars. Why not?
Yeah, I know a lot of people last week were saying that they thought maybe because of what Rumple did there that he was going to end up being the big bad for season 4. I don't know. Depending on how they frame the whole, Elsa thing and everything, it could end up flipping to that way before the end of the season. Like, I don't see them
put Elsa in there.
Originally, just Elsa as being a bad guy. That was their original intent, and after they watched it through, and they were like, well, maybe let's give this a second look.
Kari, you're breaking up a little bit. Give it like a 3 count, and then try again. 3. And we've lost her. Sorry, Kari. She's been in and out. She'll be back in before she's out again. It'll be fine. But where were we?
I don't know.
The possible, Rumple as our maybe big bad next season.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes, that.
Back on track.
But do you think that once Belle finds out about the dagger that she's going to freak out about it? Because I mean, I really can't remember too many times when he's done something that she was like, hey, wait a second.
She forgives everything.
Yeah.
She really does. It's not one of her better character traits.
No.
Well, I think this is pretty big because there's been a lot of that emphasis of, she's uncomfortable with holding that power. And she said that a few times, and he kept saying, like, no, you're...
I trust
you. I need the alibi.
Oh, don't screw it up. That she's the only one he would trust in that way. But it does. I don't know. I feel like, especially if we see like maybe the way it gets framed with that, if he's the reason Elsa was in that jug in his archive, and he had something to do with like containing her power, as the Dark One. That since she really isn't evil, but she's just kind of like rogue-esque dangerous, could that turn, could it be like a false big bad where they kind of spin it towards him and then something else comes up? Like that, I feel like that's every episode of Once. Somebody's the evil one and then something else comes up.
I'm sorry about logging out, guys. Didn't mean for that to happen.
Oh, you're still breaking up a little bit, Kari.
You kind of sound like a robot.
Yeah,
who talks
a little
like
bit.
This.
Unfortunately.
Sad face.
I'm trying.
No, but I think they're definitely probably going to go the same way they went in the movie, though. And basically make it to where she's not really a bad girl, I guess, not bad guy, bad girl, but she's just she's scared of herself, so in her power and everything. So
I want to know who she's related to.
Yeah.
She has to be related to somebody. It's once.
She's related to Hopper.
Oh.
We actually got a lot of comments here.
Oh, we should have
Let's see
probably
here.
paid attention to that tonight.
Yeah, we got a smiley face from Bobby Hawk.
Look at him. He just completely derails from everything.
Well, people are talking to us.
People are talking to us here.
See, I'm trying to pull context here too.
Context.
Let's see. Hoping for Bob. Someone says Snow Queen.
I've seen a lot of Snow Queen going around.
And Elizabeth, you'll be glad to know that Wynn agrees with you on Frozen. She dislikes it. And then Patty also mentions that that's a trend she's been seeing. A lot of people hating on Frozen.
A lot of people were hating on Frozen.
Ashley mentioned Nickelodeon for some reason.
Because we were talking Alex Mack.
Oh, yes.
She did the Nick, Nickelodeon. Look at the dancing with me, Sissy. I'm not alone.
And Patty was actually anti-Pocahontas, too. Said she loved the movie, but after learning something about Nancy Reagan. I can't sort it out right now. Let's get back to the discussion.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You guys are distracting me. Bad idea. I'm
going to keep him off of the window.
I closed Twitter so I didn't run into this stuff.
You're good. Okay, next.
Okay, Elizabeth, I believe you're up next here.
Okay, well, I thought there was a couple funny one-liners in this episode. I think there are in every episode, but I already mentioned Marty McFly when Emma said that, and I really liked it. I thought it was funny when Hook said, "One of these days, I'm going to stop chasing this woman," and then he goes right into the time portal chasing after her. And I just thought that was so cute. And I liked it when Charming said, in Granny's Diner, that, he's looking at Emma and, well, you're just as stubborn as and then Snow gives him a look and he doesn't finish what he's saying, but, she's stubborn like her mother. And I thought that was funny. But also, I just wanted to talk about how I really loved Emma in I was going to say Wonderland, and I'm like, wait, that's not right. in Enchanted Forest, because that moment when she's seeing her mother, in the tree, and her dad is at the cut tree, and she's realizing that this is a moment my parents are meeting, and she just looks so mesmerized and happy to witness this moment. And I just loved the look on her face. Like, I just kept replaying that on my TV because I just loved how happy she looked. And then same with, the ball scene. She's like, what is the big deal with these balls? And then she sees the dancing, and again, her face, she just looks mesmerized. And I was just like, see, that's what's so special about balls. You get to dance.
What good is a ballroom with no balls, I say. No, but the whole scene with Emma interrupting. Were you making? I
had an itchy nose because of this thing.
I thought you were doing bunny ears at me or something.
No, earlier I was doing that.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
But it's just like the worst possible moment, right, for her to pick to change history. The moment her parents were about to meet. Awful stuff. Yeah, there were a lot of funny lines in this, though. I really liked Grumpy's little soliloquy about monkey babies.
Oh, you want to change those diapers.
In the restaurant, that was pretty good. I'm trying to think. One that I found that was really darkly funny was when Snow sneaks into the throne room, and Regina's like, "I don't think you have that. You have it in you." And I'm like, "Just wait. She's gonna make you kill your mom. Just wait a couple years."
The darkness is coming.
The darkness. I actually thought they were going to be dealing with that some with the episode title Snow Drifts, just because it kind of felt like, oh, maybe she drifts morally or something like that. But
no, it's just to go with the snowfalls.
Yeah. Snow falls, snow drifts.
Snow drifts.
Snow falls, snow drifts. Okay, something I noticed in this episode was that it first when Emma was, coming to her big realization moment about, home and family and this, that, and the other, she sounded really selfish. She was framing it that she once she saw Snow die, that she felt bad because her mom was dead, because she felt bad because she felt bad. She didn't feel bad because her mom died. But then luckily she reframed it there right at the last second, and I realized, and she realized that she finally had empathy for Snow because Emma's been being such a big, I don't want to use
bad word
jerk, I guess, to Snow and Charming and everyone. So she finally comes to a moment of
This is me shaking my finger at Emma.
Oh, okay,
She's
okay.
being bad.
I thought you were shaking it at me. I was like, I didn't do anything. I'm just talking about the show. But no, I thought it was good that she finally got that empathy there and had a self-actualizing moment, which is always good, especially in a finale, to get the main character to
especially when she's been so for half a season.
Yeah, she's just been so focused on going back to New York and keeping Henry safe that she didn't realize that she was a jerk to everyone she loves.
Including Henry.
But now she calls them mom and dad.
Pressy!
Yay!
So pressy.
Finally, after 3 seasons.
She did it once or twice.
She'll keep calling them mom and dad, right? I hope so.
I would assume at this point. Although it still always feels weird because they're the same age.
It does feel weird that they're the same age, but it always sounds weird when she's like, Mary Margaret and David. And I'm like, it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, speaking of the whole happy family unit and everything, the baby that was teased all week, the name, it's going to be so important. The name was Neil, which fine. I love Neil. We all love Neil.
But
we miss
where
him.
is it going for next
Rip Neil. We had a flashback to Tallahassee in this episode.
It's better than that entire episode.
But the creators were saying that it was going to be something that would give us some sort of hint as to where we were going in season 4. Does anyone have any idea what the baby being named Neil could mean, or were they just completely messing with us and we should go boycott protest at ABC? We should protest at NBC about Once Upon a Time.
I mean, if Buffy the Vampire Slayer and the X-Men have taught me anything, it's that nobody's really dead. Like, I mean, come on. We're on like the 7th or 8th Jean Grey. Buffy died, at least 3 times.
Yeah.
For all we know, they're going to find some crazy loophole again, or Anna's going to, Elsa's going to do something, and her and Anna are going to wonder twins it, even though they're not twins, and he'll be back.
Maybe baby Neil is reincarnated Neil.
See, that was my concern, was that baby Neil was actually
That's not weird.
Neil.
Hi, brother boyfriend.
Ooh.
Brother, baby, daddy, boyfriend.
Henry, incest boy.
I mean, we're down for Joffrey, kind of.
We don't need to go that way. No.
Tommen seems pretty okay.
What was that?
Tommen's pretty okay. He loves cats,
Yeah, Becca, let me ask you, since we didn't hear from you when it was the hot thing, were you a Captain Swan or a Swan Fire when all that was going on?
I'm gonna have to say I was none of these things, and I've always been Swan Queen.
Fair enough.
Henry has 2 mommies, and I'm down for it.
Excellent. Well, I don't know. I was gonna see. I've been arguing Captain Swan all season. Emery's been arguing Swan Fire. So we don't have any good talking points for Swan Queen.
Not at all.
Although many of our listeners are Swan Queen.
They hate each other just enough that's really attractive.
See, but I liked Outlaw Queen.
That's totally the healthy relationship.
You never know if they're going to slap each other or kiss each other.
Or make it a thing.
I want to make it a thing. Make it a slappy kissy thing.
Slap kiss. Slap kiss point. Go.
Oh, me. I love that Emma went straight to Rumple to help them. She's like, I'm lost in the Enchanted Forest. Where do I Rumple? Mr. Gold, Rumple, Stiltskin, help. I don't know. I liked it. But it just felt like he didn't actually, all magic comes with a price. There was no real price. Well, and he now doesn't remember helping them.
Regina might disagree with you.
Well, Regina's got the price.
I thought he was he was definitely the perfect person for them to go to.
Well, who else would they?
Because he was powerful enough and he was wise enough to know that he really couldn't mess around with this. Once he got enough information to realize they were actually time travels. Yeah.
What did you do?
Exactly.
You've already changed something.
But no matter how bad he was, and no matter how hyper focused he was on that goal of getting Neil back and everything, he wasn't going to mess with the time stream.
Especially when he found out that he does see him again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then he dies, but that's neither here nor there. See, I think though, if she doesn't really have a relationship with Blue, because for some reason fine, we'll go there. Minor characters are minor for a reason. But I feel like she should be a little bit more important. But if they haven't utilized her enough, she's like super uber magical power and all that good stuff. But I don't know. She could have helped them too. She could see through the problems.
Yeah, well, I mean, she jumped in when Snow needed the help.
Yeah, when Snow asked for her, but Emma could have had her help.
Yeah, they were one swat away from losing Snow forever, though.
Bye, Emma.
For sure. No, something, because we rewatched Snow Falls right before we watched the finale, and one, they did a great job, blending the scenes, the old footage, the new footage, and two, if you were wondering where that wand that Rumple gave Emma to reopen the portal came from, it was the episode immediately after Snow Falls, the Cinderella episode. He kills Cinderella's fairy godmother.
That was Snow Falls. That was the first 12 seconds.
No, wasn't that was the episode following, wasn't it? No?
Did you actually watch the episode earlier?
No, I was sleeping. Hold on, now I gotta look this up.
We saw the entire scene.
Yeah, but I thought that was in the Cinderella episode though, with the.
That wand? Was the Cinderella episode.
Episode Once Upon a Time.
Okay, so
this is called Let's Google the show.
It's not greetings from Storybrooke without us looking something up. Look, that's
Becca has not been paid for this mention of Google.
I'm in no way receiving any monetary bonuses for all of these mentions of Google, any Google subsidiaries, and Google products.
Google. Brought to you on Google Hangouts by Google.
Just keep saying this.
No, season 1, episode 4, first appearance of Cinderella. So it was the episode immediately after. I was right.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's wrong.
Cinderella's stepmother and her stepsisters are going to a ball. The fairy godmother appears to Cinderella and tells her that although her stepmother has said she cannot go, she is going to go anyway. However, immediately after this, the fairy godmother explodes in a horrendous yet amazing display of fire.
But we saw that.
That's a great description.
No, but we let it play. Yeah, we let it play for a few minutes after Snow Falls.
No. Emma
Black and white.
No, it's actually not. But back to Storybrooke, Emma.
Blue and gray and all the colors of the rainbow.
If you keep going, Emma drops. We didn't watch that far in.
Yeah, we watched just the teaser.
Okay, well then read farther.
Okay, the wand. Cinderella's fairy godmother, correct?
Fine.
That's where it came, right? Okay.
Fine. Moving on.
That was the important bit.
Unfortunately, you have it wrong.
I really thought it was the episode 4 too, to be honest.
No, it was. Trust me.
Okay, hold on. I have 2 swords in the closet back here.
No swords.
It's a live episode. It's a live episode.
Okay.
We have 13 people watching.
13 people. Oh no, someone has an empty
We got to
cup.
get 14 or 16, baby. Come on. Sword fight.
Don't call me.
I don't need to keep drinking. It's good if I stop now.
Been there, done that.
Nice.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, I believe this was.
This is Becca.
Becca's up next.
Please, Becca, save us.
Now that we've played Let's Google.
Save us. After we played Let's Google. Brought to you by Google and Google subsidiaries. Oh man, now my point just seems sad because I just want Swan Queen to be a thing. But I also am tired of the fact that they always need. Look, we could have all done without Maid Marian showing up and Emma being Emma and being like, I need to save you. This is so terrible. Wow. You did exactly what you were always going to do because you're a fox in a bonnet. And Regina hates you for it. Shocking. You know, people die. I mean, I get that this is like a family-friendly television series, but people die. They explode.
Marion told her to leave.
Exactly.
She told her to leave to die.
She wanted to die.
She accepted it. She had made peace.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, and it's one thing if they brought her back and, you know, and Robin was like, whoa, you're not dead. That's nice. Glad you didn't die terribly and miserably from an illness like we already established as being canon episodes and episodes ago, rather than at the hand of, you know, the evil queen. Yes, we can just retcon our whole universe when it's convenient to a really contrived plot line where we destroy all of Regina's character development for the last season and a half.
Yeah.
Hey!
It's like, I think they just have a thing, like a sign up in the writer's room. Regina cannot be happy for more than half an episode.
And ladies.
It's just, I mean, it's so contrived at this point. I mean, we get it. She has a lot of issues and a lot of stuff she's got to work through and all this, like, mama baby drama with her and Henry and Emma and who's really, like,
yeah.
I get it, but I figured by, you know, the start of season 4 we would have been able to get past that. Even if her and, you know, Robin explode down the road, because soulmates doesn't mean you're going to be together forever still. It just means you're destined to be together. You know, at some point, yeah. It just, that could have imploded naturally, or they could have made Marion back next season, or just not shoehorned her into the last 4 seconds of the season. Or actually made her a fox in a bonnet. That would have been great.
A literal fox. Okay, actually, Elizabeth, you had a point towards that end, right? Especially concerning the tattoo.
Yes, I do. I have a theory. I'm going to call it a theory. What if there is another guy out there with a lion tattoo, and it's not just Robin Hood?
That's true. Know, like maybe their little gang all has matching tattoos.
Yeah, I think that's quite a possibility. And I mean, I love Robin Hood and Regina together. They're like my new favorite ship because, you know, Swan Fire's no more. But I just
Swan
don't see how
sailed.
I don't see how things can work out between Regina and Robin Hood now, because like Marion is there. She's gonna tell Robin Hood, oh yeah, by the way, honey, Regina, your new girlfriend tried to kill me. I mean, it's gonna come out. I mean, I don't see how it could not come out.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what really bothers me. I could do without Marion, I really could. And honestly, I saw there was a Twitter about the woman who made Marion. She twittered that I guess that she was the one that was supposed to be in the fire. You know, so that confused me too.
To the internet, wiki.
Yeah, I saw on Facebook that she had tweeted that she was, that she had, a day of shooting and being on a pyre, and but that tweet was taken down from Twitter, I guess, later on. And anyways, okay, moving on. My other point that I had was about Marion. Her destiny, she died. So isn't her destiny still to die? I mean, isn't that a thing on TV and on shows like this, where if you have a destiny, you cannot reroute your destiny? So I'm just thinking, if she's in the show, she's not going to be in it for long because, her destiny was to die. She's not supposed to be there.
Well, I think that is one of the kind of rules of time travel. Don't change anything. But I think Emma got a little too full of herself. She was like, "Oh, we got mom and dad back together. Why don't we go ahead and try and save this person in the cell next to me too, just to be a good person and whatnot." And
I know.
The whole flying too close to the sun on wings of wax.
Yeah, serious Icarus complex with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's noble. It's that whole product of true love. I'm the love train everywhere, just training around. But
yeah,
it's gonna derail at some point. I mean, she has her nasty sides. We've seen it a little bit here and there.
And to be fair, it almost worked. It was almost the perfect plan. It was almost the perfect way to get her out of there if she had only known that she was married to Robin Hood.
Oh.
Whoops.
You think if she'd have known who it was, she'd have left her there?
Probably not.
Yeah.
No.
Probably not. I mean, because I think she brought her back as earnestly as she could. Even if she'd known, it would have been like, well, you're not going to get brutally murdered. This is great. And you can find, but I mean, like anything, it's soulmates. So she could have been like, we're going to bring you back, but hey, your husband is shagging the freaking evil queen now. So
/ mayor.
FYA.
Madam Mayor.
FYI.
Huh.
Maybe Regina can babysit for them sometime.
Oh.
That'd be nice.
I love that baby.
Let's see here. Okay.
I did have like one more quick point. If I may. Sorry. I just wanted to say that as much as I was a Swanfire fan, I have to say I feel like Hook has really proven himself. He will do anything for Emma, and for me personally, I just feel like, okay, he has my blessing to be with Emma now, because I just think that they're good together. It took me a while to see that, but now I do, and I just wanted to say that.
I agree.
Definitely.
I agree. That takes a lot for me to say near him.
I want to go back in time myself to you like 6 or 7 months ago.
Throwing things and
play
you,
that
screaming,
clip.
babe. Yeah.
Becca, you probably didn't get to hear it, but we had a full-on shipping war on this show.
That's the most gorgeous thing I've ever heard, because rarely does it actually become war and not just a bunch of pithy comments on the internet and lots and lots of fanfics.
Many hippie comments.
But in real life, man, in real life.
Real life hippie comments. It was like, no!
Nice. Okay, well, I guess the time has come to wrap up the discussion here. Sorry we lost Kari.
I know. She's... If anybody knows the Ohio Valley... the internet was not so nice to her today, so she apologized.
She was getting converted into a Cyberman, so she couldn't finish out the show with us.
Cyberman.
But now I guess it's time for my arbitrary scale.
Oh God, arbitrary scale.
For people who don't know, I make up an arbitrary scale and we rate the episode by it. Okay, I'm gonna start with Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Elizabeth. No, I never start with me.
I know.
Okay, Elizabeth. Out of, well, you know what? Since it was a thing. Out of 4 Dark Fairy Wands, how many Dark Fairy Wands would you give this episode?
I would give it 2 Dark Fairy Wands. I almost want to give it 3, but I really love this episode, but I'm really upset about Marion, and I just wish that hadn't happened.
Fair enough. Okay, Anne-Marie, out of 4 Dark Fairy Wands.
I will give it 3 and a really big fancy handle.
Why? And you need to explain the handle. You need to quantify it.
Quantify. Okay. Because I thought this was an absolutely amazing episode all around. Very few qualms and angers and everything, as always. Nothing gets a perfect score from Anne-Marie.
Yeah.
This really could have come really close, though.
Mm-hmm.
I was running in circles when it ended. I got up, I'm like, I don't know, because we watched...
You were just so freaked out about Elsa.
I really was. Like, I was... So, that would be my quantifying. I couldn't breathe. Also, I would like
the medical issues were the handle.
The medical issues were the handle.
Okay, cool.
I was corrected a la Facebook also from Elizabeth Volkmer. I probably said that wrong.
About the episode?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Out there. Okay.
I hate being wrong.
Okay, Becca, out of 4 Dark Fairy Wands, how many Dark Fairy Wands would you give this episode?
I'm going to give it a solid 3 Dark Fairy Wands, no fancy ornate handles.
Why?
Why? I loved it. I liked, like I said, that it felt like very Monster of the Weeky again. Like season 1, we kind of were able to get a very nice standalone story to wrap up this season. But I don't know. Everything kind of it's once. I accept everything's going to probably very conveniently fall back into place.
Reset to the status quo.
Exactly. Jeez. But I would have liked a little more. The Elsa tease was awesome, but I would have liked a better sense of where we're going next season, since I think we're going to have a lot of very big stakes at play with characters we're familiar with. We gotta get Wonderland in here. I would have liked to see a little bit more of the Knave, maybe, or like even a more explicit reference to him in this episode would have been nice.
A reference? No. There was no reference.
There wasn't a reference. No, there was. I'm like rerunning it in my head. Any presence that he's gonna be like one of our most important characters next season. Hello. Hey, thanks.
I think what happened is he was going to be brought in like as a fairly big character in this episode, You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
But then they like got the rights to do Frozen, and they were like,
wait.
Like,
buy out his contract.
We're just gonna here's a couple $100. Go to the bar. We're gonna do this. We'll get back to you at the end of the year.
Yeah, even if he had just been there at Granny's at the end when they were like, baby, kneel, ta-da, Simba moment, he could have just been there then. And you would have at least known that he's in this world, and we could explain him into the world later on. But that would have been cool.
Been just as important as Aurora was in that scene.
Exactly. For any of them.
The only person who didn't change clothes from the Enchanted Forest.
Well, that's because she was made a monkey when she was in those clothes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm calling
Marion. Forget that. Ugh.
Calling it right now, though. Michael Soka will be playing Olaf next season. Okay, but we're gonna do.
Think of Elizabeth.
What's that?
She didn't rate.
Did it?
Not rate? Yeah, Elizabeth rated. Yeah, she rated.
Apparently, I had a seizure and I forgot.
Okay, we have some news and some quick voicemails, but first we want to thank our sponsor for this week's episode, Audible.
Special.
If you're familiar with them.
You didn't rate.
What's that?
You didn't rate.
I didn't rate.
I knew something was. I was counting.
Don't you sneak away from this, Meeks.
Don't. Exactly.
Do you really want to know?
Oh God, do I?
Yeah, I think you do.
Say it.
I'm gonna give it 4 Dark Fairy Wands.
Ooh.
Because, thank you for asking why.
I couldn't breathe.
No, like I said right up at the top, it was like the most perfect cover version of Back to the Future ever. We got a lot of really good Captain Swan stuff. They finally made out in present day. So we got progress on that. I have the same issue a lot of people do with the whole Regina and Marion there at the last minute thing, but it wasn't enough to overshadow how completely awesome and epic and like a movie this episode was. Now we'll go to our sponsor. Okay, before we move on to the news, was there something else, Anne-Marie?
No.
Okay, cool. Audible.com. They have all sorts of audiobooks. If you don't know what an audiobook is, it's where someone reads a book to you while you do other stuff. You can be driving a car, jumping through time portals, delivering baby monkeys, anything. You can listen to an Audible book. And for you, the listeners of Greetings from Storybrooke, Audible's offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. Now, we always like to give you a couple recommendations for when you go and sign up for your free trial. If you want to pick up a book that we like, it'll be good. Anne-Marie, why don't you go ahead and do your pick first?
Okay, I decided to completely go different. Normally we try and make them a little bit relevant to the show, but we've gone through a lot of fairy tale related books. So I have gone to just a classic that I enjoy. Well, it's not really, it's kind of a classic. It's a classic in my eyes. Yeah. It's Evening Class by Maud Vinci, narrated by Kate Vinci. Basically, it's a working class Dublin book. They're learning Italian. There's love. There's schmoopy whoopies. I love it. I've read it like a bazillion times. This is comfort to me, is reading anything Maud Vinci, and this was one of my favorites because I'm Irish and Italian, so it sort of like combines them. So yeah. That.
Excellent. And as for me, mine's a little more thematically tied into the episode this week. I picked A Briefer History of Time, which by Stephen Hawking, obviously. And basically, it's if you've heard of his very famous book / documentary / breakfast cereal, A Brief History of Time. It's the same stuff, but he focuses just on the important stuff and explains it a lot more, in a lot more detail, but also a bit. I don't want to say dumbed down, but more to where a novice can understand it. Someone who isn't.
I might understand it then.
Stephen Hawking.
Probably not.
And it's narrated by Eric Davies, too. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And I will, especially since this might be the last episode some people are listening to, I'll also recommend my own book, Dog Boy Danger on Liberty Pier, as one of my recommendations. And you can get links to those at greetingsfromstorybrooke.com in the show notes. Now, to download your free audiobook, all you have to do is go to audibletrial.com/Storybrooke. Again, that's audibletrial.com/Storybrooke for your free audiobook. And we want to thank Audible for sponsoring yet another episode of Greetings from Storybrooke.
Thanks, Audible.
Never do that again.
Aww.
And now, on to the news. News. Okay, first off, we have the ratings here. And it was a little heady at first. They thought it was going to have a 2.2 rating, up 5% from last week, but still not great for finale. But then when it was adjusted, it got up to 2.3, which matches last year's finale.
Woohoo.
So, didn't gain any, didn't lose any, stayed just about even.
They were happy with it.
Yeah,
they're happy with it. We're happy with it.
I'm sure with Frozen next season, they're just going to blow those ratings out of the water, at least for the first few episodes, till people make up their mind about it.
It'll be the first episode before people make their mind up about it.
Yeah, speaking of Frozen, we just wanted to point out, a lot of people have been theorizing, was it really Elsa? Was it the Snow Queen? Was it just someone in a blue dress? And Adam and Eddie did an interview this week.
They've done a lot of interviews this week.
Yeah, but this specific one was with the Hollywood Reporter, and they confirmed, Adam says, yes, that was Elsa. And then he goes on to say, because people were saying, I guess Disney pushed this on them or whatever. He says, after the movie came out last November and seeing it 3 more times, we loved it. And our brains start to get activated. It's like anything on the show. Once our brains are activated and an idea starts to take root, we want to do it. And we started playing with the idea, and it grew in our heads about what it could be. We went to the studio and network and pitched it to them, and they said, okay, here you go. Really as simple as that. And really, sitting down and watching Frozen twice in a row today, it's basically an animated Once Upon a Time episode, thematically, for sure.
If it's in really good. I think it'll be happy.
Yeah, and let's see here. One thing I wanted to mention was AdAge.com released a study this week about the most popular shows that people who do cord cutting, which we do, get legit. Not pirating or whatever. And Once Upon a Time happened to be the 4th most popular show for cord cutters.
Heck yeah.
Game of Thrones if you're pirating, but as far as getting it legit, Once Upon a Time. So that was pretty cool, especially since we're cord cutters. And so now I know that we're not bad cord cutters because we like Once Upon a Time.
Right.
The question, I'm cord cut too.
Mm-hmm.
Am I still pirating Game of Thrones if it's my dad's HBO Go login? Because they said they're okay with that.
Hey, somebody's login.
That's between you and your priest. No, I'm kidding. All right, a couple other things we wanted to mention here real quick. I know we're running long. It's a good time, though. So
who expected this to be short? Nobody.
Not me. But let's see here. We wanted to mention that Jennifer Morrison was on The Nerdist this week. It was a very good episode.
Not very once related.
Yeah, they basically go over what it's like to act with people on a green screen. And
it's a tennis ball.
Yeah, and the rest.
Drawing. Sorry.
Oh no,
I'm pointing out things that I remember from the podcast.
Yeah, but the rest of it was more about her time on House and just general acting, growing up kind of stuff. I kind of think Chris Hardwick wasn't familiar with the show.
Nope.
But, that happens in those kind of situations. For me, for example, I'm not very familiar with you or your name or what you do. But yet you're on my podcast.
But yet somehow we do this.
Somehow, it works. Okay, let's see. We also wanted to thank Martine on Sunday. She took it upon herself to go to our Facebook page. And every hour
on the hour, I would get a notification, be like, "You have a new picture," and I would look and it'd be like 2 after. I'm like, "You are so good."
But every hour from hour 10 to hour right on until the finale started, she was posting different pictures from ones like behind the scenes pictures, a Rumple selfie, all sorts of stuff. And she was there all day, and I was very impressed. I don't have that much dedication. But let's see here.
But you did have the dedication to find Henry as Little Bill O'Reilly.
I did. I found this on Funny or Die. I'm not going to play it on the show because there's some bad language in it. But if you ever wanted to see Henry dressed as a young Bill O'Reilly, bald, saying very, very, very naughty words, including the P word, you should definitely check it out. That'll be in our show notes too. Really funny, and it also seems like it's like a month before he started Once Upon a Time, as far as how old he is.
Especially when you go back and watch anything from season 1, I was like, he was so new. He's like Baby Roland. Nice. Sorry, but not.
Okay, and finally, this is not just the story we have here, but there were a few shows canceled, because this week was the big, these shows are going, these shows are not, et cetera, et cetera. We had Revolution starring one Sidney Glass, if you remember him from season 1. Also Giancarlo Esposito, yeah. And then Believe, which had Mulan, Jamie Chung, Mulan.
Come back.
And then the show that Red was on too got canceled, right?
Perfect.
So they all got canceled.
More Red.
Come back.
I mean, that's really unfortunate that like 600 people are out of jobs as a result of that. But
absolutely. But
well, at least Mulan and Red.
Yeah, we do have to pour one out for the crew on that, but we can be very happy that they're all out of jobs, so they'll have to go back to once.
But there were so many new shows. I'm sure they'll, all those crew people, they can find something else. Yeah, it's just what LA. They don't. It's not hard to find a job there, right?
They have unions for that, I think.
Not at all.
I don't sob openly about it all the time. I have a steady job.
I don't. I'm a college student.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I moved to LA twice without a steady job before I left. I would probably never do it again. It's very harrowing, especially when you realize, I'm paying like $1,600 to sleep on some guy's couch, and he needs it, or a pound of cocaine next week, or I'm out on the curb, and I don't know about cocaine at all. Crazy times. Okay, listener feedback. We don't have a lot this week. Because it's already running very late as far as the episode, so we didn't want to spend too much time on it. But as always, you can and go ahead and send us. We have all the letters that everyone sent us for the season wrap-up hangout that we'll be doing soonly. And go ahead and send us any other thoughts you have on the season. greetingsfromstorybrooke@gmail.com. The Twitter is @GFStorybrooke. Facebook is facebook.com/greetingsfromstorybrooke. And the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. And we have a few voicemails here, and we'll start, as we usually do, with Bobby from Bradenton.
Hey guys, Bobby from Bradenton here. Boy, they should have called this one Back to the Forest. Not only did they reference the movie, they borrowed whole plot points. I half expected someone to run into a horse cart full of manure. Although it was fun to see Emma trying to explain to Hook exactly who Marty McFly is. I wouldn't be surprised to see him walking around next season crossing off pop culture references in a notebook. When the season started, I did not believe Regina should be redeemed, and I did not think that Emma and Hook should be together at all. Not only have the writers convinced me otherwise on both points, I now hate that Regina could be heading down the same path as before. I just hope it doesn't come to that. From the opening moment of the episode to the last, it appears that they have fully embraced their Disney heritage. And I can't wait to see what's in store for us in Arendelle. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to throw myself into a death-like slumber. Wake me when season 4 begins.
We'll miss you, Bobby. Wait, hold on. That was sorry. We'll miss you, Bobby. And
have a good sleep.
Both Disney traditions, old and new. Okay, next up we have Becky. Take it away, Becky. The next two are people who have never called before.
New people.
Yeah, so this should be good. Go ahead and take it away, Becky.
Hi, this is Vicky. I'm a newer listener. For first time calling in. I just have to say that this was a pretty fantastic episode. I really enjoyed it, and I thought that the time travel plot was really well done. Emma and Hook kissing at the end was just too sweet. I loved it, and I'm so glad that they're just so adorable together. Regina and Robin, what can I say? They were so happy together, and then Marion reappears into their lives. They were just the perfect little mini family with Roland, getting ice cream there, and Regina was finally able to let her guard down and open up to Robin, about how they had nearly met and, her past love with Daniel, only to have it smashed to pieces. I just hope that she doesn't go all rage monster on Emma next season. As for what else Hook and Emma brought back with them, I don't know exactly how I feel about them bringing Elsa into the show. I know that Frozen was a massive success for Disney, but it just feels a little too much for me. Well, I have to say, I would give this episode 26 out of 30 Rumpelstiltskin glamour spells. Thanks.
Very nice arbitrary scale.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. I forgot. I was trying to aim up for bigger numbers in my arbitrary scales, and I've been scaling
we
back.
needed the lower numbers because you were doing something like 2 billion.
Well, that's a small number. Victoria, take it away.
Hi, Victoria here. This episode had its ups and downs. I really enjoyed seeing Bay again, but all the time jumping rules got a little confusing. The Rumple and Belle wedding was so sweet, and I love that it was just them, a little small affair. But it still...
I really liked the vows, too.
The vows were really
I thought the attendance was a little weak, but the vows were excellent.
Yeah, why did they have to have it, like, all by themselves?
I don't know. Maybe
I was wondering.
Maybe it was a stipulation from Belle's dad.
No one can really know about.
Just kind of, everybody, you know, they were. They were
I thought we were promised this big wedding, and it was just alone in the forest.
Yeah.
At the well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel that's a really romantic spot.
Yeah.
They're
just saying that's always kind of full of just bad
stuff is oozing out of it at any given time.
I did like that they had Archie officiating, though.
Well, that was precious.
Okay, here, we'll let this voicemail finish up.
Still have the darkness of the secret in the background. The last 10 minutes were amazing. My heart broke for Regina. It's just so unfair. And while we're getting into the Frozen storyline, I didn't see that coming at all. Do you think that was the plan all along, or did they jump on the opportunity because of the movie's popularity?
As mentioned in the story, they kind of jumped on it because of the movie's popularity with them.
It just took me off guard to see such a new story. I love your podcast, and we'll be checking out Legends of Gotham. Thanks, guys.
Woohoo!
Legendsofgotham.com. Thank you for the plug, Victoria. And also thank you for calling in. If that's the same Victoria that always posts on our Facebook, hi. Thanks for finally calling in.
And if you're not, hi anyway.
No.
Play Woo's voicemail.
Okay, hi, Victoria. Here's Woo.
I love the flashbacks to Emma's past. It was kind of the same thing that we got in the season 3 premiere with Henry's birth. I loved the Emma calling Snow and Charming mom and dad. I've been waiting for that since season 2. And here's something that I want to point out to you guys that I'm glad Emma pointed out in this episode. Ever since she's reconnected with her parents, she's never felt close to them. Like, you guys even made fun of the hollow hug that Emma, Snow, and Charming share in Broken, that it's really one-sided. Snow and Charming are so full of joy when they see Emma again, and Emma's like, okay, I don't know these people, what's going on? And I really like that Emma's gone full circle in terms of accepting her family, accepting her place in Storybrooke. I don't know how I feel about Killian and Emma being together, but I love what this sets up for this next season. One of the problems I had with season 2 was it really didn't seem like the writers knew where they were going. Now with the season finale, which was much better than season 2's finale, we know where we're possibly going for season 3. And I love this whole Marion and Robin and Regina storyline. I love what this new marriage between Belle and Gold could bring. I don't know how I feel about Captain Swan. Sorry, Belle. I had this episode 5 gold earns out of 5. Really enjoyed this episode. And what can I say? But I guess in season 4, we have to just let it go and hope the cold doesn't bother us anyway. Talk to you guys later. Love the show. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Will.
Yes, thank you very much, Will. And I know I said we only had voicemails. I lied.
We have one letter.
Yeah, I decided I felt so bad about having to not have letters this week.
That you added a letter. That
I had to put one in, and I figured I'd do it, just to be fair, I'd do it from someone we'd never heard from before. And then it turned out they had something that was really nice.
Touching. Okay.
Touching.
This is from Shannon. Greetings and salutations. I just recently started listening to your podcast, so this is my first time writing in. The finale was really good, which was nice because I found the last few episodes to be a little lackluster. I disagree, but that's okay. As a longtime Captain Swan fan, this episode was amazing for me, but I also enjoyed the little bit of Neil that we saw. He was an important and influential part of Emma's life, and it was nice to see more in their relationship. Emma is my favorite character. I've always understood where she was coming from and why she is so focused on New York. So as someone who dealt with childhood abandonment issues myself, I completely got why it became a security blanket for her. She had Henry and a cozy little home life, which is all she ever wanted. I was so happy when that final wall that was built by childhood trauma finally broke and she was able to fully embrace her parents. I'm sad that Rumple and Belle got married. I adore both characters, but I haven't been able to root for a happy ending for Rumple since he killed that mute maid.
Sorry. I usually don't laugh out loud. Only when the joke's about someone dying.
Awkward. I really hope they follow HCA's Snow Queen. I've always loved that version. Sorry, it's Elsa. Thanks for the podcast. I started listening when I was going through a difficult time, and it helped take my mind off things. Keep up the amazing work. Thanks, Shannon. Yes. This is me giving you a hug, Shannon. Mm-hmm. We're hugging it out. We're hugging it out.
That is her giving you a hug from me, too.
This is as close as I can. I'm hugging the mic.
But no, thank you very much. And I hope we hear some more from you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anytime. Just email us. People email us all the time.
People email us and say, you don't have to read this. This is just me talking.
And then we have
we read it.
Yeah, and then we have a conversation. It's a good time. And if you want to do that, you can email us at greetingsfromstorybrooke@gmail.com. The Twitter is @GFStorybrooke. The Facebook is facebook.com/greetingsfromstorybrooke. And the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. You can also find this show, all the show notes, and random posts we put up randomly at greetingsfromstorybrooke.com. Now, Becca, where can people find you online?
Google.
Oh, wow. Basically, if you Google my name, Becca Canote, BECCACANOTE, I'm the only me on the internet. So I'll pop up Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTubes, and then every other Wednesday over at youtube.com/geekandsundryvlogs.
That was Geek and Sundry Vlogs, right?
Yes, VLOGS.
Just wanted to make sure there was a little humming there. And Elizabeth, is there any place you want to send people, or do you just want to say, come talk to me over on the Greetings from Storybrooke Facebook page?
Yeah, if anybody wants to find me on Facebook, and my name's Elizabeth, last name Plascencia, it's spelled Plascencia. If you really want to come find me, go ahead.
Unless you're creepy, and then don't.
Unless you're creepy, yes, then ask you to leave Elizabeth alone. She's a nice girl.
Goes without saying. Yeah, and she's always very active over on her Facebook, and it was a pleasure finally getting a chance to talk with you. Okay, Anne-Marie, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Twitters @AMDSimone and my somewhat blog, crunchy, crafty, and highly caffeinated.wordpress.com. Yes, it's still .wordpress.com. I haven't invested the money to upgrade it yet. Deal with it.
Okay.
I'm cheap.
And as for me, on Twitter, I'm @BillMeeks. On Google+, I'm google.com/+BillMeeks. And you can find the books I write and other stuff that I'm going to be posting up there shortly at dogboyadventures.com. And you can find our new podcast, Legends of Gotham, at legendsofgotham.com. Legends of Gotham.
See, yours is better than me. I don't have the creepy voice.
Well, I have that lower register, too.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Okay. I guess, we're going to be back. Definitely go to the...
Oh, and Kari. Let's not forget Kari.
Yeah, thanks again, Kari, for showing up. Sorry the connection was weird.
Yeah, it's Valley.
Make sure to let us know when you want to do the listener roundtable at the straw poll. Links in the show notes. And I guess that about wraps it up for the season finale podcasty thing. Any other business?
Cheers.
Cheers. Even my glass is empty too, Beck. It's okay.
Mine is too.
Okay. Well, I guess until next time, greetings from Storybrooke. And we're going by. Thank you to all our live viewers. Sorry it took a little longer, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Bye.